Hello, beautiful people from Diamond Mountain and from all over the world. My name is Cristian Neculiță, and I'm one of the Romanian translators. It is my great honor to be your host today for our exquisite program, The Modern Bodhisattva. I hope you are all warm enough after such a beautiful and profound meditation, for which we thank Venerable Sunam for such a wonderful guidance. Warm welcome to every one of you for a new day of precious teachings coming to you live from Diamond Mountain. And I kindly ask you to join me in welcoming our dearest and most kind teacher, Geshe Michael Roach. Yay!
Hi, thank you for the nice introduction. Thank you for translating. I'll try to talk slow. Welcome back. I had, what do you call it? Meditation with my granddaughter. And it's good to be back relaxed. Okay. All right, you guys ready? Ulpong? Ulpong? Yeah. Text? Yeah, good. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay. Second paragraph here. Upong. Upong means, by the way, we're in the middle of the perfection of giving. Okay. And we're going to discuss giving. And it says Ulpong means people who have nothing, people who don't have much money. Sok dang. Bu means bugs. Okay. Drokma means ants. Sunla samba chang sem gisimbe gone. This is a thing I used to do with Lama Christie. We used to go to McDonald's, and the only thing we could eat there was the French fries. The salad at that time was worse than the hamburgers, and we would buy French fries and go sit outside and feed the birds, you know. And it's really fun. It's a fun meditation. So you buy something small, and then you sit outside and feed the birds. And you hold it in your hand, and the birds come, and then you talk to the birds, and you say, if you eat this, you're going to be my student when I become a Buddha, you know. And then you throw them a piece of French fry, and they always eat it. Okay. Who else did that? Huh? Yeah. Well, yeah, but Lord Buddha gave the body to the tiger cubs, right? He said, if you eat this, then you're going to be my students. And those 5 were his first students, the 4 babies and the mom. And it's I don't know, I think it's really fun. There's a lot of fun ways you can do the paramitas, you know, the bodhisattva activities. You don't have to be very serious and, you know, try to remember your 64 vows and all this. Okay, you can have fun with it also. And I think if you have fun with it, you'll be better at it. You'll be a better bodhisattva. Okay, so think about ways that you can have fun and do things for other beings and have fun. And you can do it all day long. Okay, you can do it just when you see people on the way in the airport. Just do funny little good things for them. Okay. Let them go in line first. Let them use the toilet that's clean. Stuff like that, if you can find one. Okay. Gone se kam chiktan che sama sang chambure. Samba means you know, a little bit of barley flour. Sam chimba. Yenche jimbe parchinkin yamna. This is the perfection of giving. This is the practice of the perfection of giving. You don't have to think that I have to give my body or something like that. Just little things, fun little things. With remembering that you're supposed to be a bodhisattva is probably more productive for us. It's probably better practice for us. Nyamlan dan gyalse ki chobe. And that's gyalse. Gyalse means daughter or son of the Buddhas. Okay, and it's a synonym for bodhisattva. Okay, gyalse. Right, right. Deyang du min dowe che kang chen bate nyu chen bashiche. He says, you know, sit there. If there's too many birds and one French fry is not enough, then buy a second French fry. You know, like when you do a little practice like that for some animals or something, make sure they are satisfied. Okay, make sure they get what they want. You know, keep throwing them French fries until they refuse to eat more. Okay, all right. And sengba means make sure they get what they want. Okay, since it's just pieces of French fries, you can do it. With money, it's a little difficult. Okay. Rangre koncho la nyenko gyachem boshi bulwase nge garab chi tangye nyambe. Kemba. Kemba means we feel like we're big people when we give something, when we make a donation to Diamond Mountain. You know, we think, oh, we're so special, and I'm so generous. You know, and we tend to have some pride about even small things that we give. So he says, that's madakbe jimba. Madakba means you made your practice of the first perfection dirty. Okay, you made it dirty by being proud about it. Just give it and shut up. Okay, and shut up in your own heart. You know, don't think, oh, I'm so special, I'm so good. You know, I give all this money. Okay. Personally, I find that it's good to forget it as soon as you give it. Just give it, and then look ahead to the next one. You know, and don't dwell on the old ones. Okay. Here's an important advice. Traditional. This next part is traditionally very important. Yang tang sembe jesu tang che du nyamba dang don't you know du nyamba so chine giba chiba dedan down chamiru. Sometimes you get excited when the people at Diamond Mountain, like Sunam, are fundraising and they get you excited and you give a lot. And then you go home and you say, God, that was too much money. I shouldn't have given Aldo so much, you know. And Rob's like, Geshe, your backpack's getting empty. And then there's a very strong tradition in the Lamrim that you should never regret something you did. Okay, it's true, maybe you gave too much. Maybe you overdid it, but never regret what you gave. When you regret it, you kind of, traditionally they say you destroy the good karma. Okay, the seed is damaged when you regret it. So it's okay to say, look, I was excited, I gave too much, and that's okay. Next time I'll be more careful. But don't regret what you gave, and don't try to get it back or something. Just let it go. Okay, just let it go. And by the way, later you will not regret it. You will be very happy about it. Okay. And if you just give away stuff uncontrollably, you know, all day long, it feels great. Okay, and you will get much more back. Don't worry. Okay, just get in the habit of giving whatever you can, you know, and do it all day. And my personal experience is it will just keep coming back, and you'll be crazy. You have much more money than you ever thought of. Okay, it'll just keep coming. It's crazy, and just enjoy it and use it. Okay. Don't you know duk nyamba? there's a special weird karma when you find out the person you gave the money to had a lot of money already. That happened to me one time. And I was pretty upset. And but just let it go. It's okay. And try to check it out beforehand. But we never know. Sometimes people have a lot of money already and we don't know. And they ask you for money, and it's okay. Okay. If they have a lot of money and they ask you for money, they probably need it. Okay. Because they're something inside, they feel like they don't have enough or something. Okay. So the main thing is after you give, in English we say second guess. Don't say, God, maybe I did the wrong thing, or maybe I gave too much or something like that. Then you kind of ruin the karma. Okay. So just give it and don't worry about it. Okay. It always comes back much more than you think. Always, always. Okay. If you regret it, or if you think, oh, I gave too much, you ruin it. Okay. You ruin it. Okay. Tongkap tambod on tamar semche ki tundu girwe kunun lepa chushin. Lepa chu is a nice word in the second line. Chu means to fix something. And the word shastra, denture, right, Tim? The word for a classical commentary in Buddhism is fixer. Okay, it fixes you. And this che means fix your motivation before you give something. So pause. Always think, I would like you to be my student when I become a Buddha. Okay, like even you just give somebody a few dollars, or you give them a cup of coffee or something. Just pause in your own mind and say, please be my student. When I become a Buddha, please be my student. There's a beautiful, we just finished Seiji's text, and there was a beautiful prayer at the end. He said, in the realms of hell, may I appear, and may people ask me to be their teacher in hell. And may I sit in hell with the beings and be their teacher. And that's very beautiful. Okay. So when you give anything, make a prayer that I should be your teacher. Okay. Manam shukchak tap. Make those prayers. Shukchak means like you almost feel like you want to cry or something. Jemba chechun kantayang nyekor sokrang den lamire was gusum. There's when you see emptiness directly, during that 20 minutes, you don't see other things. You cannot see other things because you can only see emptiness. So you can't even see yourself for 20 minutes. Then when you come out, you have until you sleep, maybe 10 or 12 hours more, you have all these amazing ideas. Okay, those are not the direct perception of emptiness. Those are, we call after effects, or you start having amazing understandings for the rest of the day. By the way, the next day is kind of dead. But that day, try not to go to sleep, okay? And one of the things you realize, and there's many, many things, those understandings that you have, because prana is still in your central channel, right? Some prana is still in your central channel. So some of the ideas you have, all of those ideas were organized into the 4 Arya truths, okay? 4 aspects of the 4 truths, 16 different cool ideas, okay? And they got kind of corrupted, and they got to be doctrine, and they got to be this boring list, and it doesn't seem to make much sense. And but there are, the point is there's certain amazing understandings you have after you see emptiness directly, because the prana is still in the central channel. So you have, for example, you can read other people's minds until the end of the day. But here, one of the understandings you have, and maybe we should rewrite the 16, I don't know, but one of the understandings you have is that you never did any giving to another person without selfishness. Never, ever in your life. You never really gave something to someone not expecting some kind of, reward or praise or something like that. It's human nature. There's always, whenever you give something to somebody, until you're a pretty strong Arya, there's always some motivation that you want something or you're trying to get something. And I don't think you should walk around depressed about it, but you should understand it. It's if you have a bad habit, at least you should understand it, right? Even if you can't stop it. So I think you should understand that habit that we don't tend to give something unless we can get something. And so if there's situations where you can give anonymously, or you can, run away after you give the thing, that's sweet, okay? And you're not going to change your human nature before you become an Arya. You're not going to change, but at least know about it, and then later you can work on it. Okay, so it's human nature not to do something for someone else without some self-interest. It's human nature. It's okay, but we have to think. Someday may I perfect giving. May I really give without anything coming back or without any hope. I should be doing pictures, I guess. 46, 19, the person giving, holding out a hand. Keep going, I think. Somebody's holding a hand out, I don't know. There you go. Okay, Chuki Jimba di Nyendu Chen la Pensem ki Chutsik Shi Ba Chik Demba Yen Dang. Chuki Jimba means he's going to talk about the Bodhisattva first perfection giving Dharma, okay, giving teachings to someone. And I put in the bold, Nyen De Chen. It's too bad you can't talk because you could make some money. Exception, Tim? Can they talk if I ask them a question? Okay. Nyen De Chen for $100. Nyen De Chen. Nyen De Chen. Looks like I'm safe. Nyen means to listen, right? De means they want to. Nyen De Chen. So Nyen De Chen means when we talk about the gift of the Dharma in Buddhism, Nyen De Chen means don't give it to people who don't want it. Okay? Don't bother people with your Buddhism. Okay? Don't grab people and say, did you hear the good news, about Buddha, Don't bother people with your Buddhism. And I think when you first start studying, there's a habit, especially with your wife or your husband or your relatives, and you say, oh, Geshe Michael is the true prophet, and he gave us these wonderful things, and you have to agree. And if you want your wife or husband never to become a Buddhist, the best thing is to bother them with your Buddhism. Okay, so don't bother other people with your Buddhism, and don't try to push it on people who don't want to hear it. Okay, you can be a Buddhist and affect people, be generous, for example, and people will watch you, but don't try to sell Buddhism to people. Okay. If somebody wants to know, if somebody wants to know, they're interested, then you can, if you just teach them a single verse, a line or 2 lines of Buddhism, that is the gift of the Dharma. That is the karma of giving the gift of the Dharma, which is probably the highest form of giving. Okay. I have in my own life sort of a, what do you call it? Priority conflict, So I have time, I have choice of doing, I have choices. I can translate more books, I can teach more things. A lot of people want personal things, or, and I have to decide with my own time, I only have a limited time. So I have to make decisions every day about how do I spend the time. And I think to keep the Dharma alive is priority for me, to make sure it doesn't disappear in the world is sometimes, I think about it a lot. People ask me, sometimes people need like 2 hours, 3 hours discussion about a personal problem or something. And I'm like, and I have this struggle in my mind. I'm like, I know they really need the time, but my time is not unlimited. I only have so many hours, and then I'll be going somewhere. So I have to think about what's more important, or how can I help more people. So here it says, if you get a chance to share the Dharma, that's the highest gift. I think you can think about that when you're thinking about priorities. If there's some way to keep the Dharma in the world, that's really important. Okay, they call it the light of the world, right? And I always heard that in Christian, this you should be don't hide the light under a basket, right? They say Jesus said that. And this world without these teachings would be darkness. I think there would be no light in this world. So I think you have to, personally, I think I have to keep some light going before I go. I got to make sure there's some light. Okay. And that means I don't always have time to sit and listen for an hour or something like that. I just don't have time. There's 200,000 students now. People say, I just need an hour, Geshe. And I'm like, did you learn math in school? They say, yeah. And I say, what is 1 times 200,000? And they say, 200,000? I'm like, right. But I still need an hour. And I'm like, okay. But we have about 200,000 students in the whole system. Then it's completely impossible. I don't have this capacity, and I can't do it, So I have to make choices, and I think to keep the physical Dharma in the world is something I'm capable of. So I think I have to try to do that. Okay. If you just share a line with another person in the class, you are teaching the Dharma. Okay. If you just explain, something that somebody said in the class, then even if it's just in the car going to Tucson or something, then that's the same as teaching up on the stage. Okay. Same thing. To share the Dharma with one other person personally is the same as giving a Dharma teaching. Okay. He says, not me. Next picture. I like this picture. this is Lama Pelma. She came for a job to my jewelry company many years ago, and we were working long hours. I remember Uma Thurman came in the same week and asked for a job. I interviewed Uma Thurman, and I said, my advice to you is, go be an actress, because you will never be a secretary. And her father often thanks me. But Lama Pelma came at the same time, and we were working till midnight every day. We were just building the company, and it was really hard. And I said, look, I'll hire you, but there's no hours, okay? You work as long as I say. And she says, no. The first thing she said to me was, no. And I'm like, there's a long line of people waiting for a job interview. And I'm like, I would just throw her out, I just say, well, thank you very much, I'll get in touch, But something told me to keep her. And I said, that'll be fine. And you can work whatever hours you want. And then she started coming to classes and stuff like that. And she became a great teacher. And then if you walk around her neighborhood in New York, every single person is stopping and talking to her. And they know her because she was seeing so many people everywhere. And then we started to call her Lama Pelma. And then people objected. She's not Tibetan. She's not a man. She doesn't wear robes. She's not from Asia. How can you call her a Lama? We got all this trouble from people. And here the text says, okay, the greatest Lama says, Lama serne chuti tendu zekte chepa shignepa gupa min. You don't have to be sitting up on a Dharma throne in front of a bunch of Asians to be a Lama. Okay. That he says, not me. Okay. Lama ser means the name Lama means you're teaching people. It doesn't matter what country you're from. Before my teacher's time and my time, women were not allowed to study the Geshe course. Can you imagine? Can you believe it? And when we started teaching women, we got a lot of trouble. We got a lot of criticism, and it was hard. It was really hard. Zek means to climb up on a Dharma throne. Okay, it's not necessarily the case that you have to climb up on a Dharma throne to teach the Dharma. You could be sitting in an airplane seat next to. It's a great place to teach somebody. They have a seatbelt on. They can't get away. The bathrooms on the plane are never free. Okay, captive audience. Chinjin di jimba shenle chokin. This is a simple phrase, but it's nice. Where are we? Next picture. We got a video, I think, you guys. Francisco? Is there a video? I don't know. I thought there was a video. Maybe. No? Ken? Yes? He's massaging it? Okay. Anyway, tell me if you do. Yeah? Okay, let's go. This is one of my favorite videos in here somewhere. Francisco, I'll stall. Okay. So the Guadalajara Sangha is one of the best Sangha in the world. Oh, here we go. Okay. Sound? Oh. Jim D. Jimba Shenle Chokian. The gift of the Dharma is the highest gift of all. Okay, if you want a good karma or you want to do something important, then to share the Dharma is the highest gift you can give. Okay, and it's kind of nice because you don't have to be perfect. Don't feel like you have to be perfect. Imperfect Dharma teachers are the best because they understand people's problems. You know, they say I'm fighting with my husband. They say me too. and you know, so don't feel like you have to be some kind of saint or something like that. Okay, I think when you teach the Dharma, somebody asked me, "What's the first thing that happens, Geshe?" I said, when you teach the Dharma, you reach a new level of hypocrisy, because you're teaching something you cannot do yourself, and but inevitably, if you talk about it all day, it starts to affect you, right? So don't think you have to be perfect. Don't wait till you're perfect. It'll wait a long time. Okay. What you understand, teach. What you don't understand, admit it. Just say, look, I'll get back to you on that question, and then go ask somebody else. And don't think you have to be perfect. Don't be proud. Don't be embarrassed to, mess up at a teaching. Just do it. Okay. It's the highest karma you can do. Okay. And don't be shy. Somebody you meet on a plane, you say, where are you going? They say, Costa Rica. You say, oh, I was looking for someone to sponsor my teaching in Costa Rica. And okay, don't be shy, and don't wait till you're ready, and don't wait until you're perfect, because that's a long time away. So go ahead, teach. We mess up, okay? Teachers mess up. Don't mess up once. Just shut up and keep going, okay? And apologize to everybody, and then keep going, okay? So Grandpa's ready to help with the second tour, okay? Just let me know, okay, before I spend the money. You might want to get it this week, actually. Talk to the guy with the envelope. right? Okay. Probably better to get it this week. I got some money. I don't know if I'm gonna have it next week. Okay. But I'm happy to do the same donation. Okay. All right. Pecha Zinkyor Jangso Kitseyang Rangi Takodu. This is a nice sentence, and I remember when I first heard it from my teacher, and I was very happy to hear about it. And they said, when you're in doing your morning practice, and when you're saying your prayers, when you're saying your mantras, don't mumble, okay? Like just a so you know, you hear people do that, right? And he says, say it clearly so that someone sitting next to you could hear. Okay, unless you're on an airplane or something. Okay, so say it clearly, because there are lots of spirits in the world, especially here. I think there's a lot of spirits hanging around. There was a lot of trouble here. There was a lot of fighting between the white people and the original people here. I think there's a lot of spirits moving around, and they're curious what you're doing in your cabin, and they want to listen. And so do your prayers loud enough that they can hear. And here's the original source of that. A lot of what I say in a class comes from this book. I was brought up on this. This was the milk that I was fed on. Okay, Pechat Zinkyor Jangse, when you're reciting your prayers, Rangi Takor de Kar Chokislaso, there are spirits around you. Semchen Tamje Kune. Also, you have imagined that the people in the whole world are sitting with you, right? Therefore, Nyambar Sampe, imagine that there are many beings listening, because there are, and you cannot see them. Okay. Samne Chena, Chuki Chimbar. This also, you will get the karma of giving the Dharma, which is a very, very high karma. Okay. So if they're going to listen anyway, so you might as well get some credit. You know, say, oh, I know you're listening. Here's some mantras you can listen to. These are nice mantras. I learned this at Dharma Mountain. Om, om, om. Okay. Okay. Chidra tepe busin soki gilang bakcha joke. Animals, he says, all the way down to bugs and worms, animals can hear you. So, I don't know if you're releasing an animal or you see an animal. I mentioned, I like to sing to wild animals. I like to do mandala offerings, or if I see a deer or something, I'll stop and I'll sing the mandala offering to them or something. Sometimes they run away and they're like, oh, and sometimes they're like, and so you can put a seed in their mind. So even they wanted me to take my granddaughter to the zoo yesterday, day before. And I haven't been to a zoo in 50 years because I think it's a terrible thing. And, but I said, okay, I'll go. And my wife said, no comments. And I'm like, understand, And so I went through all the zoo and sang to the animals and, the giraffe and all those guys. And you can do that. When you meet animals, you can whisper stuff or sing things to them and put seeds in their mind. Okay, have fun. This whole thing about Dharma practice, you should have fun. You should be creative and you should be fun. You should be an odd person, and that's fine. Let other people get used to it. They're not having fun. You can say, look, I know you don't want to have fun, but I want to have fun. And if you think I'm a little bit strange, I'm okay with that. You can go ahead and think that. And I've done that my whole life, and it's fun, and it's nice. Okay, you don't have to show off being weird, but you can just quietly be weird. Okay. And it's fun. It's just fun, you know. Oh, that's the guy who sings to the giraffe. You're like, yeah. And you're like, okay. Bachak joke. Bachak joke means you can put seeds in their mind by singing mandala offering to them or something like that. Okay. Shen Chima. Okay. Dini Jindak. Shen Chima means if you can plant a seed in an insect by singing to it, then obviously if you sing somewhere else, you know, in the park or something, and other people are around, and that's fine. Just don't get locked up, okay? Or maybe it's good and you can sing in there in the jail. So, Jindak Tsar Sunam Lokten Chepat Sunche Doang Sam. Then there's a big tradition in the monastery. Don't forget, he's talking to a lot of monks. And there's a big tradition called Chongchok. Chongchok means people pay the monks to come to sing prayers at their house. And usually you get a lunch in return. So you go in the morning and you recite at people's homes. And then it's supposed to be that the people sit around and listen. And this is an old Buddhist tradition. So I grew up in a Mongolian temple. I was there for 25 years. We used to do Chongchok a couple of times a week. And it's usually 4 or 5 monks. And you go to somebody's house, they make a big lunch, and you recite prayers in their house. And we had the abbot was this old Mongolian blind. He was blind and very chubby because he loved Chongchong. And he'd say, let's go do Chongchong, you know. And we're like, okay. And take us. And then I remember one Chongchong, and he said, we're kind of late, you know, we gotta start. Monks are supposed to start by 12 o'clock, right? Supposed to start eating by 12 o'clock and not eat in the evening. So he's like, well, we're kind of in a rush today. And he had, he said, well, I brought one scripture with me, but he said, I have an idea. Let's split it up. And I'll give everybody 5 pages. And then we'll recite it, you know, and we can eat faster. And I'm like, but everyone's going to be reciting a different thing, you know. And he said, they don't know. And I'm like, okay. And he gave everybody 5 pages, and it was the Dharma Sutra. And I had never read it. And I was like, wow, this is good stuff, you know. And then every time we went somewhere, I would try to get a different 5 pages. And then that's how I first studied the Dharmakaya Sutra. So you can do that. He says here, Chudra to me, Chongchok, here's the Chongchok cup, talk about sup, good day. He says sup. Sup means be careful. When you go to a family's house to do prayers, sup means be careful. So it is true that Lord Buddha used the Diamond Way to become a Buddha in one lifetime. It's true. And by the way, there's a discussion in the Diamond Way text. How many Buddhas got to Buddhahood not using Diamond Way, and how many Buddhists got to Buddhahood using the Diamond Way? And the answer is everybody used the Diamond Way. There's no Buddha who ever became a Buddha who didn't use the Diamond Way to become a Buddha. So he says here, we all know that this Buddha used the Diamond Way. And by the way, he had a spiritual partner, and it's a beautiful, beautiful story. But we all know that he used the Diamond Way. But Chong Choki Nyekyo Dan J means he didn't trade prayers for Buddhahood, meaning he didn't the way he practiced Diamond Way, he didn't go to people's house and do secret mantras so that he could get lunch. Okay, did he use secret mantras to become Buddha? Yes. Can we use secret mantras to become Buddha? Yes. Did he go to people's house and trade mantras for lunch? And he says, no. Okay, all right. Do they do mantras at people's houses? Yes. Does it result in lunch? Yes. Is it for lunch? No. Okay. No. Nor cheer chutsong. Chutsong means don't sell the Dharma. Don't sell the Dharma. Then people are worried about it. People are like, well, Geshe, should we sell Dharma books? Should we sell paintings? Is it wrong? It depends. That depends on your motivation. Okay. It's a lousy business, I'll tell you that. Diamonds are better. Selling the Dharma is, doesn't pay very well. I'm just saying, it's a lousy business. If you want money if you want a business, don't sell Dharma. Go sell something. Sell, I don't know, jewelry or something. It's not, he says here, don't sell the Dharma. Okay, don't sell it. Can you charge money? Here's my answer, okay? Can you ask for donations for your South America tour? People always asking me why you sit up there and ask for donations for Diamond Mountain, which I'm about to do. And my answer is, if you don't want to donate to ACI for the 30-30-30 program, then come with me to United Airlines. And I'll go with you, and say, look, Geshe has to get to Kyoto. He's gonna teach for free. Just give him his seat for free. Okay, you come with me to the United Airlines travel desk, and we'll talk to them. And they'll say, excuse me, they'll say, get your crazy ass out of here. And okay, there are expenses that we have, and we can't cover them without help. The ACI is free. The teachings are free. Teachings have always been free, but it's a big strain on me and other people. It's a very difficult to raise the money, and it wastes our time. It's a huge waste of time. So it's free. Everything's free. You don't have to give anything, but if you can help, we could translate more books. We could do more teachings. If you just help, the Vietnamese just donated, I think 140,000, something like that, to the volunteers cabin. Yeah. And the best thing was I didn't have to ask them. They just did it, and I didn't have to stop my work and go beg for money. So it's not, the people organizing those tours, we don't enjoy asking for money, and it's kind of, I don't know, you feel kind of like a prostitute sometimes, seriously. You're like, oh, please give me $10 for this teaching, but if you can help, it would be nice. Okay, what are we looking for? Tim has a program to keep the ACI teachings free. Then we have it called 30-30-30. I forget what it is. If everybody gave $1 a day, then we're gonna finish, what do we say, 30 years or something like that? Huh? In 7 years, we'll finish what? Okay, finish the Lam. That's 9 years, honey. Okay, 9. Okay. Yeah. Say again? Yeah, we're gonna do 100 meditation videos. Okay. And we're gonna do 100 videos for how to meditate. Are we doing any this week? I don't remember. We'll do one tomorrow, maybe. We'll do the first one tomorrow, okay? All right. I think it's something that we haven't done very well. We have not supplied meditations very well. I think we're doing good on the ancient books and all that. The Lamrim's been steady, but we haven't done, we haven't recorded the meditations. So there's about 100 meditations. We're going to record 100 meditations. I think we're going to keep them to half an hour. TikTok attention span. Yeah, I mean, it went from 2 hours to 1 hour to 45 to 30. Seiji's asking me to do 5-minute things now. I'm like, Seiji, I can't even start my mouth in 5 minutes. But we'll make them short, and you can use them for the rest of your life. You know, you'll have 100 choices every morning what you want to meditate. Guided meditation, 100 guided meditations. Okay. But we need help. Just sign up and shut up. Sign up and shut up. Okay, it's $1 a day. Don't tell me you can't do that. Okay, so if you please use the QR code and sign up and put it on your credit card. You know, Jigme wrote me yesterday, you got like 200 subscriptions to different kinds of Netflix things. And why don't you add ACI? And if there's a really good movie on a certain streaming service, I'm like, okay, who cares? $5 a month, you know, I'll sign up just to see one movie, you know. But then after 20 years, it's like, she's like, you think we should stop this one? I'm like, nah. So just think it's like another streaming service, okay? Okay, so please help with that, all right? It's not a big deal, like 30 bucks a month, $1 a day, okay? And then if we all do it, then Tim can fly all around, and Aldo and his mafia gang, they can fly around and help people, okay? And we can keep it free. It's our intention to keep it free. Geshe-la is not free. You have to pay to come here. I said, that's for the food and that's for the cabins. And but the teaching is free, okay? All right. Selling Dharma or trying to get money out of Dharma is like asking a king or a queen to get off the throne and clean the garbage can. No, it's not appropriate. Okay, selling Dharma is like asking the king or the queen to go clean the toilet or something. You know, it's Chile pop means it's like asking the king or the queen to get off the throne and go clean the toilet or something like that. Okay, chupa dandawi kuno sabasinga. Keep your motivation high. Tim, schedule? I start Q&A at 7, is that correct? For 15 minutes, is that correct? Okay. Cheer chung ngutun la dumbatachi, geja so la chune, shengu dan gyube, chula titap chepa chujin dudro. Chujin means the gift of the Dharma, and he's focusing here on giving the gift of the Dharma. And he says, we're not supposed to push the Dharma on people. I'll tell you a funny story. I tell you, okay, people say, Geshe-la, you're getting old. I say, I know. But they say, you're repeating the same stories over and over. And I said, I teach every single day around the world. I can't remember which place I taught 12 years ago, you know, and told a story. So if you are into the Diamond Way classes, you can think that Geshe-la knows what he's doing. And he's trying to give you the story 2 or 3 times. But if you're not, you can just say he's getting old. It's okay. I don't mind. So anyway, now I forgot what I was going to tell you a story about. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I took the bus to New York for 19 years, and I people tell me I commute for an hour or I commute for 45 minutes. I commuted for 4 hours every day for 19 years, and I didn't want to buy a car because I wanted to give all the money to ALL. And so I did. I gave all the money to ALL and to the monastery. It's for 19 years. And I took the bus and I stood out there in snowstorms and rainstorms. And uh, I took so one day coming home, the bus broke north of Freehold. And it's too far to walk home. It would take a couple hours. And it's raining and we stopped. And the bus driver said, everybody get out, And we're like, where? And he said, there's a little bar. You guys can go in the bar, And I'm like, oh boy. And I went in the bar. I called Art. I said, I need a ride fast. So he came to get me, and I was in the bar, and there was a lady doing go-go in a bikini on the bar, on top of the bar, and I'm like, and and there are all these guys sitting there getting drunk, and I was reading this part of the Lam Rim, and I thought, well, he says, whenever you're sitting with anybody, try to bring up the Dharma in a skillful way. So I'm looking at all these drunk guys, and the ladies like dancing, and I'm like, did you ever hear about Dharma? and you can always, if you're skillful, you can always teach something. Okay, you can always talk about something. So, think about it when you're in the bar, in the go-go bar. You can always think of something to help people, right? And that's a bodhisattva's activity. That's bodhisattva's activity, okay? Wherever you are by accident, then use the time. Don't waste your time and try to learn something or try to speak something. The Buddha, we had it yesterday we did a ritual yesterday. There's 64 songs of the Buddha's speech. Sometimes they say 60. And one of them is to be able to talk to anybody in their language. So you can try to learn bar talk, go-go bar talk. Hey, what's the guys doing? What's up with the football game? And then, do you know you have to die sometime? So you can there's always some kind of Dharma thing you can say, okay? And we're supposed to learn to speak Sarva Bhuta Rutas Jnanam. What's that? We're supposed to learn to speak in all people's languages, right? Sarva Bhuta Rutas. It doesn't mean Russian, Spanish, Japanese. It means bar talk, go-go bar talk, go-go bar dialect. And learn to speak to people in their own language, okay? And that's a skill of a bodhisattva, okay? Chip chap chip on chuchinduro. Rab chung ki ni chujin so cheching. De tang beme jona sang bang good. Now, those of you who are monks and nuns in Tibet in 1920, okay, Chujin Sorche, actually, you're kind of limited to Dharma. The thing you can do is Dharma giving because monks and nuns aren't supposed to carry money or they're not supposed to own things. And I think it got corrupted in recent years. In my monastery, everybody kind of owns their own house. They own their own apartment. They pass it on to their student. So really there is private property. And I think it's not a good system. the tantric college, Gyume, where my teacher was like vice president or something. There you cannot own your room. You don't own your room. You have to move every 3 months. You cannot stay in one room more than 3 months, and they force you to move to another room. In the Sera, it's pretty much private property. You own your monk's apartment, and you pass it on to your friends or your students. But it's supposed to be that monks and nuns don't possess things like that. Chujin, so the main kind of giving for a monk or a nun is the Dharma. Okay. They thank to Beme Jona. Beme Jona, Beme Jona means if it comes to you easily, if people give you a lot of money, if people hand you a red envelope with $10,000 in it, Beme Jona, and you didn't ask for it, they just gave it to you. Okay, then you can, as a monk or a nun, you can share what you have. You can share the money with other people. You can give the money to other people. Okay. Okay. Unkan Rapchung la Kadam Geshe Sharawe. There's a Kadamba Geshe named Sharawa. Second generation Kadamba. Ngeni Kela Don Opinion Mijuki. Jimbe Nyeme Jopayensu. I like this one. He says, I'm not trying to sell you on the benefits of sharing what you have. Don't opinion mija. Mija means I'm not trying to convince you of the benefits of sharing what you have. Zimbe nyeme jopayen. I'm trying to convince you that it hurts you to keep things. Okay, and that's cool, I think. He says, I'm not trying to get you to donate money to ACI. I'm just telling you, if you keep it, it'll hurt you. Okay, it's interesting. If you keep it, if you think you can keep it by keeping it, you're hurting yourself. You keep it by giving it. You see what I mean? Okay. Do I like money? Yes. I don't buy things. I have an old car, old house, old clothes. They just sewed it up while I was in Tucson. Not very well. But if I get money, I like to use it. I like to print a new book, or I like to build a new cabin at Diamond Mountain or something like that. Okay, so he says here, I'm not trying to convince you to make a donation to ACI. I'm not trying to get you to appreciate the act of giving. I'm trying to convince you that keeping things is a stupid strategy. Okay, when you keep things, I had a friend in the diamond business, a Jain monk in Mumbai, and he started a diamond business. We started it together in India, and he became one of the largest in the world. And he used to say, Michael, money likes to move. Money likes to move. You shouldn't keep money in a bank account, or you shouldn't hold it in your pocket. You should let it move. Money wants to flow, and then it will help more people. Okay, so he says here, this Kadamba Geshe, I'm not trying to convince you to be generous. I'm just saying what a drag it is to sit on money. And then you're going to die anyway, then that money has to go looking for a new owner. It's just stupid. Don't let money sit there doing nothing while you sit on it, and then you die and it didn't help anybody. Okay, the money was useless. Sometimes it flows too fast. That's okay. Sometimes my wife's like, we can't pay the bills. I'm like, yeah, we'll work it out. So it's better to let it flow too fast than to hold it. Okay, holding it is stupid. And if everybody had money, then everybody would be poor. I mean, you have to let money flow. Okay, when it comes, then let it flow. Okay, and then everyone's benefit. Okay. All right, we're gonna pause there and do Q&A. And you please don't hit anybody with the box. And by the way, if you need to go to the bathroom or something, feel free. Okay.
So Geshe, the first question is from online. And it's kind of a fun, difficult question. And wondering if you could explain how we move from the fifth flavor of emptiness,
The fifth what?
fifth flavor of emptiness,
Oh,
to the sixth flavor of emptiness. And how dependence is different in those two, so we can help our students understand those differences.
yeah. You rangi tumamo yambe duliking when they do beton. Yeah, there's the difference between the two forms of emptiness inside the middle way school. Okay, lower middle way and higher middle way. So prasangika higher middle way, and the independent. I like to call it the two groups inside of the middle way school. The lower middle way, which would be 5, worldview number 5, they believe that basically you can think of it that we are interpreting the world. Okay, so how the world seems to you is an interpretation. So different people get different raw data. Okay, raw data. Like, I don't know, there's a glass of pink liquid. Okay, and then the raw data, according to the lower middle way, is the same for everybody in this room. There's a cup of pink liquid, and that's from the other side, not from my side, but from the other side. There's raw data appearing to me. Okay, and that's a pink color and a cup shape. Okay, and then I interpret the raw data. If I'm I don't know, if I'm trying to be healthy, it happens to be almond milk and strawberry. Okay, 0 carbs, both of them. And then I don't know, to somebody else it might, if you don't know what it is, I don't know. I've many people online, I mean, I get all kinds of emails. They say, why are you drinking a margarita, in class, No, really, you have no idea. By the way, when you step into the role of a Dharma teacher, get ready to be patient. Because people will say all kinds of terrible things about, oh, gosh, I was drinking margaritas in class, and so somebody looks at the same liquid and they see a margarita, and that tells us more about the person than about Geshe. You know what I mean? If you see a margarita, maybe you're drinking margaritas, not me. But so in the lower middle way, everybody has a certain set of seeds, and there's raw data. There is a pink liquid in this room, and that wasn't made by anybody. Geshe just held it up. I'm not making the pink liquid. The pink liquid is there. How I interpret it, how I take it, that's the emptiness. If I have been drinking margaritas a lot, then I will think Geshe has a margarita. And if I've been on a diet for too long, 9 kilos, I'll teach you a trick. If you've been on a diet for a long time, then you're like, oh, that's some kind of, healthy drink, like that. So in the lower middle way, worldview number 5, people are interpreting raw data, which is out there. The raw data is really there. And then we interpret it in different ways. And that's the emptiness. Okay. The emptiness of this pink liquid is that it could be an almond drink or it could be a margarita. That depends on your seeds. But the pink liquid does not depend on your seeds. Pink liquid is raw data. We all experiencing a pink liquid, no matter what's our karma. Everyone's experiencing a color and a shape, okay? That's fifth school, fifth worldview. Sixth worldview is even the raw data is coming from you. Even the pink liquid is coming from you. There's many people who would not see pink. And there's many people who would not see a liquid. There's many people who might see this as a knife or something, okay? There's no reason to say just because it's pink that the pink is coming from its own side. And the highest middle way, sixth worldview, says that even the raw data is coming from me. You know, that if you had different karmic seeds, you wouldn't even see pink. You would see, and you wouldn't see a cup shape. You would see a different shape and you would see a different color. Everything about your perceptions is coming from your seeds. There's nothing coming from its own side, not even the pink color, not even the shape, okay? You're making that also, okay? And that's the difference between 5 and 6, okay? And as you go higher through the 6 flavors of emptiness, they become more all-inclusive and they help you more, okay? If you can understand that even the colors you see are coming from you, you'll be a better person. You'll be sweeter to other people. Even the colors are coming from you. Everything's coming from you. There's nothing about another person, even the color of their face, their eyes, their lips, that's not coming from you. Everything's your fault. Okay. Every asshole you ever met was a direct reflection of you. Then that gets a little overwhelming. You're like, everyone? You know, like that boyfriend in 6th grade. Yeah. Okay. Everything, even their colors are coming from you. Okay. Much less how they act and stuff like that. Okay. Cool. That's the difference between 5 and 6. Lonely men wangi shaksa mayimber you rangi tumobe bidurusu dupe toa is the 5th one. Okay. Lonely mela nawe wangi shaksa mayimber. They would say if the state of mind is not affected by alcohol or insanity or, you know, sickness, that the raw data is out there by its own. That's the 5th worldview. Okay, cool. There's a small print that says the mind should be unaffected. It should be not crazy, not drunk, not insane. Then that raw data is coming from its own side. Okay, cool. Next. Yeah.
Thank you for teaching, Geshe. And the first of the 6 perception, the first one is giving, sharing, and the first one, 4 magnets, sharing too. So what's the difference between these two?
I'm sorry, say again.
The first of the 6 perception is sharing.
Yeah.
And the first one of the 4 magnets is also sharing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay, good. By the way, Sophie Chow organized a beautiful talk with, she and I talked to Marie Kono, who invented this neatness program in Japan. And we had a really good time. And I think it was an hour or something. And the 3 of us did a talk together. And if you get a chance, you should see it. I think it's kind of fun to see such a disorganized Geshe talking with such an organized people. But it was a beautiful interview that we had. And we might do it again in Kyoto or something, I think. Anyway, for the first of the 4 magnets or ways of attracting disciples is to attract them with material things, you know. So if you want when you're ready, you should attract students. And the first thing is to help them financially, or offer them, always, by the way, you Latin America tour guys, the key is donuts, to get people to come to your talk. It's refreshments, okay? And that's just, if you want to attract students, then the first rule is to be generous and feed them. And the original ACI course, 7 years, I paid for everything for 7 years. And it was hard. It was really hard. And but you should, if you want to be a teacher, in the beginning, to get people to come to class, be generous, be overly generous, get some money, have good, don't have cheap, stupid refreshments, have high quality refreshments, and, spend some time thinking about it, spend some effort to help your students. And if a student is broke, or a student is having a financial problem, then help them. Okay, and this is the first step to being a teacher, is to be willing to help your students financially and physically. Okay, whatever they need, help them take care of it. Okay, what's the difference between that and the first perfection? I would say it is the first perfection. I'd say it's when we talk about the 4 methods of attracting disciples, it's the same giving, it's the same perfection of giving, but in the short term, the goal of the giving is to attract people to class and to get people to come to your class or something like that. And then the first perfection is more general. It's all kinds of giving. Actually, you're in the first perfection, you're still trying to get people to come to your class, but in 10,000 years. Like when he gave his body to the tiger. It's the same thing as giving donuts to the first students who come to your class, but a little bit longer timeline. And then the first of the 4 magnets it is also the perfection of giving. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it's short-term purposes to attract the students. Yeah. And don't be shy about it. That's the way things are. That's the way the world is, Then spend some time, make sure you have high quality refreshments, make sure you have a lot, make sure you're ready to clean up afterwards, because they will not help you. And just relax and have fun. And you're like mommy. Your mommy doesn't say, look, you know how many breasts full of milk I gave you already? Why you want more, Moms don't ask that question. They just give. And so a Dharma teacher should just keep giving, okay? And don't get weird about it. Just keep giving, keep giving. And that's the business we're in. That's what we do. Cool. Take a break. See you in what time? Half an hour? Tim? 7:45? Okay.